Good morning, St. Anselm's Abbey School, and a shout out to our boy John Goldberg. Peace and love. Hi, this is Bill Crittenberger, welcoming you today, this morning, this beautiful Friday morning, where we're going to be able to combine athletics and academics, where later in the day we're going to have our field day, and we'll capstone things with the announcement of the house championship. So, exciting day in front of us. I'm here in the library, and first of all, I want to say how much we've missed you all and all of us being together. Boy, if a sense of community hasn't been ever present, and the real draw of schools over this last 2.5 months, nothing else is. We miss you boys, we miss you terribly. I know on this video, there's additional members of the audience, faculty and staff, and invariably parents, et cetera. So, glad you all could be with us. We got a great hour and a half in front of us. And again, my welcome today is to say the following. There's going to be a lot of people in today's recognition who aren't mentioned, right? The majority of people won't be mentioned, and that's unfortunate. But I want to state the obvious, which is congratulations to all the students at St. Anselm's Abbey School. You've been amazing. You've had a great year. I know you've done your very best these last 2+ months to weather this unprecedented storm, and you've done it beautifully and well, and with grace and poise. So thank you all very, very much. You're all eligible in everyone's mind's eye in terms of your commitment to excellence to be recognized. That said, I want to also focus on the fact that today we will certainly recognize students in all 7 grades, but today is really about a love letter to the senior class, frankly. We've got an amazing group of 37 students. Most of the recognition, especially in the awards component, will be towards seniors. And I understand that you all will recognize that importance. Seniors, I just want to say thank you for a remarkable year. It had been the smoothest, easiest, most copacetic, most positive year perhaps ever in the school's history. And then mid-March hit, and here we are. And I will say, Mr. Corrigan noted a couple weeks ago, he said it would take a senior class of this senior class's character and ilk to have completed the year in the very fine and impressive fashion that these young men have. So thank you all very much. We've got a great show in front of us. And I'm going to now introduce Father Michael Hall, who himself is an Abbey boy, class of 1956, who will lead us in prayer. Welcome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this year's awards assembly. We meet under very unusual circumstances, but we come together virtually to acknowledge and celebrate individual accomplishments during this past school year and to announce the recipients of this year's awards. St. Benedict says that every good work we do should begin with prayer, and so let us begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. With the grace and peace of God our Father and the presence of the Lord Jesus Christ, risen from the dead, be with you all. We always begin with a reading from Scripture, and the reading which is particularly appropriate for an occasion like this is from St. Paul. It's his letter to the Corinthians, and it is from the 12th chapter rather. Brothers and sisters, I do not want to leave you in ignorance about spiritual gifts. There are different gifts, but the same Spirit. There are different ministries, but the same Lord. There are different works, but the same God who accomplishes all of them in everyone. To each person, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. To one, the Spirit gives wisdom in speaking. To another, the power to express knowledge. Through the Spirit, one receives faith. By the same Spirit, another is given the gift of healing, and still another miraculous powers. Prophecy is given to one, to another power to distinguish one spirit from another. One receives the gift of tongues, but it is one and the same Spirit who produces all of these gifts, distributing them to each as he wills. For the body is one and has many members, but all the members, many though they are one body, and so it is with Christ. The word of the Lord. But now, as a kind of response, we'll reflect upon Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. In verdant pastures he gives me repose. Beside restful waters he leads me, he refreshes my soul. He guides me in right paths for his name's sake. And even though I should walk in a dark valley, I fear no evil, for you are always at my side. With your rod and staff you give me courage. You spread the table before me in the sight of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Only goodness and kindness follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord for years to come. St. Paul, in the reading we just heard, describes the ideal of a Christian community, where members share their abilities and talents, pooled together to make a stronger community. A community without negative rivalry, without envy, without bitterness, where members support one another in good times and in bad, joyful in victories, supportive of one another in failures too. That spirit is the goal for any really good school, especially one which is rooted in the gospel and Benedictine community awareness. This is a very unusual year which we are bringing to conclusion, but all the values of any other year are still present in this year. Many good things have happened in this school year for the community and for individuals, and so today we're celebrating and acknowledging important accomplishments and achievements in growth and service in the areas of athletics, academics, artistic and service projects. The awards single out many individuals. Not everyone can win a prize, but life just isn't like that. Not to have win is not the same thing as losing. That category of personal best is an accomplishment others may not know about, but you as individuals and your teachers and parents know about it and know what you have all achieved. Personal successes, areas of growth and improvement in everyone. So be proud of what you have learned and what you have accomplished this year, and determined to begin again next year to do better. Have I become a better person, a better family member, a better friend, a better student in the course of this year? And to do that in the future is the most important of accomplishments. Thank you.
As president, I want to thank Bill Krittenberger for his 8 years of service to St. Anselm's Abbey School. He led the school through a successful middle states evaluation, restructured the organizational chart, expanded the administration, formulated a strategic plan for the next 5 years, and has guided us through these very difficult months of the viral plague. While very busy with administrative duties, Bill also has taught 2 classes each year, from middle school math to upper school calculus. We wish Bill well as he takes on the president's role at Bishop O'Connell High School. They are most fortunate to have him lead their school. I want to present Bill with the St. Anselm of Canterbury Medal, which we'll give him at a later date.
Good morning. My name is Brian Taylor. I'm the head coach of both cross country and track, and I'm here to give out a few awards. But first, congrats to all the runners for finishing the 2019 season. Running is something that you can do now outside, and hopefully it's something that will serve you well for many, many years to come, regardless of where you are or what situation you may be in. So our season ended up well. I think we were 5th in the PVAC, and we had a lot of PRs at the end of the year. The awards I'm presenting, I've got 3 of them: Most Valuable Runner, Most Improved Runner, and the Strength and Honor Award. So the Most Valuable Runner this year, I've selected Antosh Wellish. Now, this decision was not easy. There's another runner, another senior out there, who just had a great summer of training, and he's running some amazing times. His award will come up in a second. But Antosh really came on strong towards the end of the season and finished up with his PR at the championship meet, which is exactly how you want to plan your season. So congrats, Antosh. Our most improved runner is Jackson Muse. Now, Jackson, I remember seeing him in one practice saying, "Oh my gosh, where did he come? Where did he come from?" Jackson just stuck with it, and by the end of the season, he was starting to get close to that top 7 varsity spot. So Jackson, I look forward to your senior year next year, and hopefully we'll get some races in. The Strength and Honor Award, this one goes to that other gentleman I was talking about, Ian Passman-Rivard. Ian had a great summer of training and he had a great season. Unfortunately, towards the end, he started to struggle with some injuries, and he made it through a few races, but it was really tough on him. It was a really tough decision for me between the two. I would say, in my mind, they were both the most valuable runner. And I'd also like to mention our four-year letterman. That's Antosh Wellish, Ian Passman-Rivard, Joe Paci, James Grissom, and also Evan Bessick. Congrats, guys. Be well, and I hope you've gotten out and done some running, and I hope to see you next season.
Good morning, everybody. The 2020 version of the Panthers middle school soccer team was one of the most fun teams that I've ever had the joy of coaching. We had a wide range of talent, passion for the game, and personalities. This was, without a doubt, one of the most talented and athletic teams I've ever coached. We had strong goalkeeping with our duo of Sam Rankin and Spencer Wolf. Great leadership from our Form 2 boys, led by our captain, Ezra Amidu, and great contributions from kids in Form A and Form 1. We had a lot of fun during the season. We ended the season with a 7-2 record, with a lot of memorable goals and games. The bus rides were a lot of fun. There's a lot of music, a lot of laughter. It was just a great group of kids to be around. The season ended up with a early playoff loss that really surprised us, but I was proud of the way that they fought from start to finish. And I can't wait to see what happens next year with this incoming group of Form A and Form 1 and Forms 2 students. All right? Go Panthers.
Hi guys, it's Coach Kayali. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about our JV soccer season. I had a wonderful time playing with you guys and coaching you guys throughout the season. I was really proud of some of the things that you achieved. I thought it was a solid season, and one of the performances that stood out to me was the game at Catholic University against Burke, where about half our team scored goals. Another one of the standout performances was one where we didn't even win, but we lost 1-0 to a very strong WIS team away at WIS. But I think what I'm most proud of is the games that we gave the varsity side at practice, preparing them for everything that the other teams would throw at them, and really giving everything our all every day. I really look forward to working with you guys again soon, and hope that everyone stays healthy over the summer. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Coach Tony, varsity soccer head coach. First of all, I hope everybody's doing well considering our situation. As for the soccer team, well, we didn't have the best season. However, that did not stop for some of the players to do their very best by showing perseverance and determination. Players like William Shee, Kyle Kipto, Ronan Welch, Giovanni Bonilla. Also, our superstar players, whom with the great soccer skills and leadership abilities were able to guide the team through the ups and downs of the season. Players like Lucas Smith, Ollie Lewis, Griffin Burchard, Mark Bader. Also our injured players. I hope they're doing well and I hope they're getting ready for next season. Now for the awards. I have to give 4 awards. My first award is for most improved. That award goes to Mr. William Shee. He used to play 5 to 10 minutes per game. Towards the end of the season, he started playing the entire half. That's good improvement. My second award the Sportsmanship Award goes to Mr. Oliver Lewis. All around great player, positive attitude, always helping out. All around excellent player. My third award that's the Leadership Award, goes to Mr. Lucas Smith. He's a player that everyone looks up to. The team was not complete unless he was in the game. And finally, my fourth award, which is the MVP award. That goes to a fine player, one of the best players I ever seen. Once I took him out for 2 minutes. Big mistake. He is relentless on the field, plays everywhere. Doesn't matter where you put him, he'll give you 100%. I wish there were more like him. Anyway, the MVP award goes to Mr. Michael Bader. Congratulations, guys. As for the rest of you, I'll see you on the field next season.
This year's Abbey Middle School basketball season was really 3 seasons. At the beginning, led by the dominant play of Mikey Williams, the team got out to a great start. After 15 straight years of losing to Holy Redeemer's A-team in the first round of the Thanksgiving CYO tournament at DeMatha, we finally beat them, led by Mikey's offense and Alex McQuaig's stellar D. In December, though, Mikey broke his finger and had to sit out, and the team struggled for a time to find a new identity. Over time, Carter Burley, Fred Simmons, Josh Chapman-Givens, Aiden Foster, Lane Burchard, and Mikey's little bro, Rocco, all took turns rising to the occasion, and the team learned to play together. Late in the year, we showed hints of the team we could be with 2 solid wins in the Georgetown Prep CYO tournament. Part 3 to our season was the PVAC playoffs, although we finished 4th in the league with a 7-3 record. With Mikey returning to join a much-improved team, we stormed through the bracket, beating number 1 seed Barry on the road and finishing with a perfect championship game win at home, where every Panther got to contribute to the delight of a raucous Abbey Dome crowd.
Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. I had the opportunity to coach JV basketball this year. This is my first season, and I knew going into it we had a pretty inexperienced team. About 7 or 14 guys had never played organized basketball before, but I really looked forward to the challenge. We had an awesome group of guys. Definitely some ups and downs. Started the season hot. We had a big win against Covenant Life in the final minute. Lost a few after that. But my favorite point of the season was about mid-January against Sandy Spring. We were down 10 late in the third quarter, and we managed to stage a rally, get up by 2 in the final seconds till we gave up a layup, took it to overtime, where I think we played the best basketball of our season. Malachi Robinson went 10 for 11 on free throws. We had some guys get some big steals on defense in our press, and our guys just kept fighting. Ended up winning 68-62, and really put a nice stamp on our season. Although we didn't reach our ultimate goal, I really look back fondly on that moment, and I really look forward to seeing these guys again next year. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Manglitz, class of 2000, and I'm going to talk about varsity basketball. First, mega kudos to middle school A team on their championship game, and just some really awesome games from the middle school B team and the JV. I look forward to working with a lot of you guys on the varsity in the future. Varsity this year was put in a tough situation coming on everything that happened last year with some really historic achievements by a group of guys that all graduated, except for 2. We had 2 returning players on varsity this year. And so we knew that this year was going to be full of a lot of transition and challenges. And that bore out. We ended it was a season with a losing record. But some of those victories, were just amazing. They're victories that you wouldn't have bet on before the game, during the game, towards the end of the game. You named the story and we experienced it. Down 8 going into the fourth quarter, down 14 at halftime to turn that into a victory on the road, winning games in overtime and double overtime. 4 of the first 5 wins that we had were either by 1 point or were in overtime. And you could see that in the best part of the year was the invitational tournament where guys rallied going into the tournament on a pretty brutal losing streak. And in the semifinals game to beat a team that only a week earlier had beaten us by 33 points, and to rally together and beat them by 2 on the backs of games of the year from guys like Beanie and Thomas and Wes, and led by Teddy and by Will, who had just an awesome tournament. I don't have time to talk about individual achievements, but Lucas Traver gets most improved. Walter gets sportsmanship, Teddy gets MVP, and Will Clark, I had a plan to get everybody to sign a ball and give it to you, but I don't know when the logistics of that can even begin. So just thank you everybody for such an awesome season. Thanks to Coach Grinaldo for being the most relied upon assistant coach in the history of the game. And I just can't wait until I can see you guys and we can be together again. So bye, I love you all.
St. Anselm Swimming had another banner year this season. This year we won 2 out of our 4 dual meets, taking on significantly larger teams such as DeMatha, Prep, and the Heights. We swam 2 invitational meets this season, taking 2nd place in the Charger Invitational. We competed in our very first middle school championships with Charlie Jacobs taking 12th place in the 100 IM. Peter Zork, Luke Gidley, Jack Burke, and Cole Mitchell each met the time qualifiers for our second appearance at National Catholic High School Swim Championships. We participated in our very first Washington Metropolitan Private School Swim and Dive League Championships with Hank Hawley, Michael Lynch, Luke Gidley, and Jack Burke, qualifying for finals and taking 14th in the 200 free relay and placing 19th overall. Peter Zork made the time qualifier for our very first Metro's Swim Championships in the 50 freestyle, and most incredibly, we won our second consecutive PVAC Swim Championship, and we have a banner to prove it. This has been a truly incredible year for our young team, and we have some awards to highlight your accomplishments this season. Our most valuable swimmer with the most points earned this season is Jack Burke. Our most improved swimmer, who learned several strokes this season and stepped up to fill a relay slot at PVACs, is Omar Hassan. And our leadership award goes to none other than our senior captain, Peter Zork. Thank you for setting a positive example to your teammates, making sure that no one misses their events, and leading us in cheering. While we often think of swimming as a purely individual sport, we truly rely on the contributions of every team member to succeed. I want to thank you all for your positivity, your enthusiasm, and your sense of humor, trekking to meets on nights and weekends as far away as Baltimore and Germantown. It takes a particular level of dedication to get up early on Saturday morning to swim a 6 a.m. warm-up in a cold pool, and I am deeply appreciative. Thank you so much to Lisa Burke and David Gidley for timing almost every meet this season, and to all of our parent volunteers who step up to officiate and time we would not be able to compete without you. Thank you to my assistant coach, Father Samuel, who rapidly calculates split times and is a visible Benedictine presence on the pool deck. This team is the work of many hands, and I am endlessly honored and grateful to be your coach. Thank you so much for another extraordinary season, and let's get excited to do it again next year. Congratulations, guys.
Middle school wrestling was the best ever. In my 16 years, there's never been a better team. 9 wins and 1 loss. Defeated St. Albans, Georgetown Day, Mater Day. What a great team. Morgan Lloyd, Thomas Braden, Philip Livinati, all are going to return next year and anchor next year's middle school team, while Will Carbonneau, Connor Lowe, and Matt Murphy are going to move on to varsity. While they did an excellent job in the middle school team, we are really looking forward to them on varsity. Varsity wrestling this year had a very interesting season. Their dual meet record was even on wins and losses, but their tournament team was phenomenal. At the 16th annual Mall tournament, the Panthers entered 8 wrestlers and walked away with 8 medals. Finian Powell and John McKean earned bronze. Liam Kilrain, Daniel Sipes, and James Mervish earned silver medals. Jacob Murphy, Isaac Smoker, and John Paul Liminati earned gold medals. In the first ever PVAC Wrestling Championships held right out here, again 8 were entered and 8 medals were earned. John McKean and James Mervish earned silver, while Liam Kilrain, Jacob Murphy, Daniel Sipes, Ben Williams, Isaac Smoker, and J.P. Liminati all earned gold, and with that, all PVAC honors. So yes, there will be a PVAC Wrestling Championship banner hanging on the wall this summer. John Paul also earned a silver medal in the state tournament and got an at-large bid to the Nationals, where he won 1 and lost 2, taking the school to an 84th ranking in the country. Well done, men. Our most improved wrestler this year was Jacob Murphy. First year wrestling, started with a couple of losses, ended up, as you heard, with 2 gold medals. Our teammate award, because he was there for everybody all the time, every day, Isaac Smoker. Our most valuable wrestler and 4-year letterman, John Paul Livinati. Spring sports were really interesting this year in that they didn't actually happen. We did spend about 2 weeks in practice, and so we decided to go ahead and award 4-year letterman awards to those seniors who came out. So in baseball, that's John Paul Liminati and Robert Netaluha. In golf, that's Patrick Iku, Joey Horner, and James Mervish. In tennis, that's Kieran Eicher and Peter Zork. And in track and field, that's Ian Patzman-Rivard, Antos Wellish, Joe Paci, and Nicholas Daniel. In summation for sports, we actually played in 9 banner sports this year in the PVAC and won 3 banners. An outstanding year. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to have the opportunity here to present the Scholar Athlete Award for 1920. I will say, to state the obvious, as was the case for all of us this year, when mid-March came and all bets were off and we transitioned to where we are now, understandably, those spring athletes lost the spring athletic competition realm. And that's really frustrating and quite sad, frankly. But I will say as well, we tried to take into account the fact that that season had begun and teams had formed, and wanted to share with you that we this year thought it was very appropriate to recognize two young men in the senior class for the Scholar Athlete Award recognition. One of whom is Nick Daniel, and the other is Ian Passman Brevard. And I want to say, as I mention those names, from the biblical passage about running as if to win, those young men always ran as if to win. They always gave it their best. They're both beautiful runners, by the way, and I think there's a metaphor in that about how beautiful their running stride is. One is a little bit more of a distance runner, Ian. Nick's a bit more of a sprinter and also a field athlete. But what they are additionally is incredible young men who are so devoted to team and positivity and spirit. They're both great guys, great teammates. Their teammates love them. And they both had very accomplished careers at St. Anselm's Abbey School, both as athletes, but also as scholars. And I think they're both very deserving of that recognition. So again, Ian and Nick, congratulations, exceedingly well deserved. It gives me great pleasure to announce the National Merit Scholarship finalist recognition to Antosh Velish. Antosh, based on his October junior year PSAT scores, finished, if you compare nationally, he was 1 out of 200 students in the entire nation. So that would be the comparison. So 0.5%. Congratulations for that. And then we also had a number of students who were recognized for National Merit Scholarship commended students. And on that same test, these seniors that day finished in the top 3% nationally on the PSAT performance. And they are John Paul Libanati, Joseph Paci, Evan Bestick, Nicholas Daniel, Oliver Lewis, Will Monahan, Ken Caproth, Nat Landau, and Will Moyo. Congratulations, gentlemen. Next, I'd like to present the Harvard Book Prize. The Harvard Book Prize is awarded by the Harvard Alumni Association to the outstanding student in the junior class who displays excellence in scholarship and high character combined with achievements in other fields. It gives me great pleasure to recognize Oscar Lloyd as this year's Harvard Book Prize recipient. Oscar is, well, first of all, to know him is to love him. He's peripatetic in our community, and everything he touches, he has a Midas touch. It turns to gold, and it takes what it is, no matter how good it is, and makes it better. He's a remarkable student. He's incredibly earnest and affable. He's kind, considerate. He's high energy and high drive and high vision. He's a remarkable musician. He's incredible on the stage, and you'll see today in the field day video, he's also pretty darn good in that arena as well. So again, great pleasure, the Harvard Book Prize to Oscar Lloyd.
Hi, this is Ms. Dunn. I am here to announce the winners of the Berry Prize for Creative Writing. Before we announce the winners, just a little background. Peter Berry graduated from St. Anselm's in 1983. He loved creative writing. His parents set up an endowment, the interest of which is awarded to our winners today and every year. We had a number of wonderful entries, but we have two winners. The winner for original poetry goes to Will Monahan for his poem Frostbite. Congratulations, Will. And the winner for original short story goes to Joseph Lang for his short story, The Daughter of the Moon. Congratulations, Joseph. Thank you everyone for writing and submitting your entries. Congratulations to the winners. Keep writing, look for these entries in the cellar and online, and take good care.
Hello, my name is John Corrigan, and I'm the chair of the St. Anselm's Abbey School Mathematics Department. Every year we give out awards for superior performance on the Mathematical Association of America's Mathematics Competition. Each named student receives a certificate and a nice dress tie. The test for middle school is the AMC8, and we have 3 qualifying students. 2 students share second place, and they are Isaac Lynn and Enda Hughes. In first place is Paul Rataco. We have 1 qualifying student for the AMC10, who is Michael Lynch. For the AMC12, in third place, we have Nicholas Casertano. In second place, we have Anand Bey. And in first place, we have Zinkai Kai, who also qualified to sit for the American Invitational Mathematics exam. In addition to the AMC exams, we also participate in the University of Maryland High School Mathematics Challenge. This year, both Anand Bey and Zinkai Kai advanced to the final round. Zinkai Kai was the highest scoring student in the District of Columbia and was honored earlier this year at a ceremony at the University of Maryland. Now I would like to talk to you as a member of the Board of Directors of the St. Anselm's Alumni Association. Over 25 years ago, the school asked the Alumni Association to create alumni awards, which would be given to seniors excelling in the different fields of study. Each winner will receive a hardback copy of the Rule of St. Benedict with a check for $100 in it. The winner of the 2020 St. Anselm's Abbey School Alumni Association Award in Mathematics and Science is Ken Caproth. The winner of the 2020 St. Anselm's Abbey School Alumni Association Award in Modern Languages is Carter Del Rosario. The winner of the 2020 St. Anselm's Abbey School Alumni Association Award in Classical Languages is Evan Bestick. The winner of the 2020 St. Anselm's Abbey School Alumni Association Award in Fine Arts is Michael Bader. The winner of the 2020 St. Anselm's Abbey School Alumni Association Award in Social Studies is Terrence Flannery. The winner of the 2020 St. Anselm's Abbey School Alumni Association Award in English is Kieran Eicher. Congratulations to all of the 2020 St. Anselm's Abbey School Alumni Association Award winners.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be speaking to you today in my capacity as Vice President of the St. Anselm's Alumni Association. Along with Mr. Corrigan, who just presented the Alumni Book Awards, I serve on the Board of Directors of the St. Anselm's Alumni Association. The Alumni Association exists to help the school's graduates stay connected to the school and to one another, as well as to support the mission, faculty, and students of the school through a variety of programs and initiatives. One of those initiatives is our Alumni Study Grant program, in which we invite current upper school students in Forms 4, 5, and 6 to apply for financial grants that will enable them to pursue summer opportunities outside of the standard St. Anselm's curriculum. This year, our Board of Directors was impressed with the breadth and diversity of the applications for this year's study grant program, and earlier this month we voted to award 4 grants of $500 each to students in currently Forms 4 and 5. Knowing that many summer programs and plans will be impacted by the ongoing pandemic, we've decided that students who have been selected for this year's program will be allowed to apply their grant money towards any summer program that is substantially similar to the one that they've applied for between now and the summer after their graduation from St. Anselm's Abbey School. This year's Alumni Study Grant recipients are as follows. Griffin Burchard, Form 5, who will participate in Operation Smiles International Student Leadership Conference in Peru as a young ambassador. Oliver Foley, Form 5, to construct a soundproof music space in partnership with the Hyattsville Community Development Corporation. Jonah Rankin, Form 4, to participate in a Korean language summer immersion program in Seoul, South Korea. And Percival Tonha, Form 4, to attend the Washington Studio School's Teen Intensive program in the visual arts. Congratulations to this year's recipients on behalf of the Alumni Association and all St. Anselm's alumni.
Good morning. My name is Mr. Brian Taylor. I'm the chair of the science department, here to present two awards for the science department today. The first award is called the Bialy Duda Ghosh Science Award. And that award is presented to the single student who has shown the greatest commitment in the natural sciences. And that award goes to Joshua Gu. Joshua has been an excellent science student, and I'm excited to see what he can do in his future career, hopefully in science and or mathematics. The second award is a Goldberg Science Award, and that award goes to James Grissom. James works tirelessly on many, many different projects, and I have seen the results of those through his engineering projects last fall and even part of this spring, and of course through our distance learning program. Congratulations to all the award winners, and congratulations to you, the class of 2020, for making it through all this craziness. Be well, everyone, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hello and greetings, everyone. This is the Classics Department of St. Anselm's Abbey School, here to congratulate all of our students who took the annually administered National Latin Exam in March. Though a remarkable number of Abbey boys did very well on the exam, we honor the following young men who did exceptionally well by either achieving a perfect 40 out of 40 score on the exam or doing consistently well enough over years of their Latin studies to make them eligible for Classics scholarships should they decide to take Classics in college. Please join us in congratulating the following students. Thomas Braden, Form 1, perfect score, intro level. Joseph Watkins, Form 1, perfect score, intro level. Andrew Kim, Form 2, perfect score, Latin 1 level. Kyle McHugh, Form 2, perfect score, Latin 1 level. Nika Wachira, Form 2, perfect score, Latin 1 level. Aiden Wetterhan, Form 2, perfect score, Latin 1 level. Tommy Reimer, Form 4, perfect score, Latin 2 level. Evan Bestick, Form 6, gold medal this year's National Latin Exam and eligible for Classic Scholarship due to consistent good scores. Peter Zork, Form 6, gold medal on this year's National Latin Exam and eligible for Classic Scholarships due to consistent good scores. Congratulations to everyone who took the exam. Optime, stay safe and healthy.
And now, in honor of the memory of a dear faculty member who has passed on, Miss Enzel always went beyond with her students to work with them, to press them, to push them to do their very, very best. And this award, the Gigi Enzel Spanish Award, is to honor a student who did just that, who of their own went beyond the normal requirements of Spanish. This year, we award this prize to Antoni Velish, who had Miss Enzel in Spanish 1 when he was just in 8th grade. Since then, he earned 3 consecutive golden medals in the National Spanish Exam, and he participated in an immersion trip to Spain last year. And he has been a dedicated student taking Spanish literature as an elective beyond what is necessary this year. Congratulations, Antoni. And now, allow me to present the National French Honor Society newest members and sustaining members. We have joining us just this year in Form 4, Eric Montesi, Daniel Sipes, Juan Tampe, all joining the ranks of Form 5 members Omar Hassan, Lorenzo Mara, Joseph Lang, Oliver Foley, Oscar Lloyd, Michael Pandula, Edward Ruiz, and Lucas Smith, all for their wonderful ambassadorship in pursuing and promoting the pursuit of French language and culture. Congratulations, gentlemen. Allow me to present to you now the laureates of the National French Exam 2020. The winners are, for the gold, Paul Ritacco and Eric Montesi. For the silver, Jonah Roberti, Liam Kilrain, Oscar Lloyd, and Lucas Smith. And for the bronze, we have Henry Felgenhauer, Carl Horniak, Warwick Lloyd, Hugo Filmer, Ben Schwartz, Daniel Sipes, Juan Tampe, Omar Hassan, and Joseph Lang. Congratulations for all the hard work that has culminated in this moment.
This is Señora Montoya. I have the honor of presenting the new members of the Spanish Honor Society for the year 2020, Chapter San Anselmo. Griffin Burchard, Form 5. Hayden Dangle, Form 5. Jason Reyes, Form 5. Jason Sella, Form 5. Hugh Shepard, Form 5. Lucas Straver, Form 5. Yon Siyan Shu, Form 5. And Oliver Fitzpatrick, Form 4. Congratulations.
Marhaba. Good morning. 2 years ago, St. Anselm's Abbey School became a founding member in the National Arabic Honor Society. This year, I have the privilege of watching 4 members of that founding group graduate. Nick Daniel and Kieran Eicher, who are going to major in Arabic in college, as well as Jack Craig and Joseph Pachi. As members in the Honor Society, these students have access to scholarships and grants through the Qatar Foundation International to study Arabic or international relations or history of the Middle East. Mabruk. Congratulations.
Peter Samp Award. This award is given in memory of Peter Samp, a stellar and dedicated student at St. Anselm's who passed away in February 2009. He was a true Abbey boy. He fully embodied the school motto, Pax in Sapientia. He interacted with his classmates with humble and compassionate wisdom. This year's award is presented to Will Monahan for his contribution to the St. Anselm's its academic program. Congratulations, Will.
The Sister Mary Immaculate Award is the highest honor conferred by the Fine Arts Department at St. Anselm's Abbey School. Each year, this award, created to honor a former fine arts faculty member, recognizes a graduating senior who has made outstanding contributions to the school in the fine arts. This year, the fine arts faculty have selected a young man who has taken on numerous roles in school musicals as a member of the Priory Players, also volunteering for many shows on stage crew, set construction, and tech. He has been a leader in the school's choral program, singing in the men's chorus, and co-directing the student-led a cappella club. Last year, this senior also represented the Abbey at the Kennedy Center as a member of Washington National Opera's Young Associates Program for high school students. It is with great pride in these achievements that we bestow the Sister Mary Immaculate Award on Nicholas Daniel. Congratulations, Nick.
The Archbishop's Award is presented by the Archbishop of Washington each year to one graduating senior from each Catholic high school in the Archdiocese. To a member of the graduating class who exemplifies, in the opinions of the faculty, in his life, the Christian spirit and attitude of faith, concern for others, and of service to school, parish, and to the whole community. This year, in 2020, the Archbishop's Award is being presented to John Paul Libanati. There is a plaque which is awarded, which obviously we can't give on the present circumstances, but which will be available for you, JP, when you come to pick up your diploma. Thank you.
The St. Anselm's Faculty Award is given annually to one student in each form for outstanding academic performance and commitment to learning. These awards are determined by a vote of the faculty members in each form. This year's Faculty Award recipients in the middle school are all excellent students, not just because of their grades, which are very impressive, but because of their attitudes towards learning. They're active contributors to class discussions, they ask great questions, and they go above and beyond what's needed to just get a good grade to really make the most of their educational experience. Just as importantly, they're great classmates. They listen to the people around them, they're always there to help when you need a hand, and they're respectful and kind to their teachers and fellow classmates alike. This year's Faculty Award recipients in the middle school are as follows. From Form A, Eamon Hughes. From Form 1, Nathan Widman. And from Form 2, Isaac Lynn. Congratulations, gentlemen.
The St. Anselm's Faculty Award for Outstanding Academic Performance and Commitment to Learning is a particularly difficult award for the faculty to decide because so many of you bring such excellent enthusiasm, dedication, insight, and thoughtfulness to your work. The fact that we receive so many nominations for this award is a testament to the rich community of scholars to which all of you contribute. The students that we recognize today are particularly outstanding examples of this community of young men who have achieved remarkable academic success through hard work and discipline, as well as with good zeal, open hearts, and a sincere love of learning. This year's St. Anselm's Faculty Award recipients in the upper school are as follows. From Form 3, Henry Felgenhauer. From Form 4, Arthur Hicks. And from Form 5, Anon Bay. Congratulations, guys.
Hi, I'm at this point very, very honored to be able to present the Headmaster's Award. Headmaster's Award at St. Anselm's Abbey School goes to the following. Headmaster's Award is for contribution to class, positive attitude, and school spirit. And I have to say that the Headmaster's Award, although it's entitled the Headmaster's Award, is really a compilation of thoughts and views and ideas from the faculty and staff and from the administration, division heads, form advisors, teachers, etc. So in reading the following 6 names, Form A through Form 5, and I'll be with you in Form 6 in just one moment, but these young men are being recognized for those characteristics, as I said a moment ago: contribution to class, positive attitude, and school spirit. Form A, Tanner Ludwa, very patient and positive towards classmates and teachers, open-minded. There was a kind word for classmates when they need encouragement. Great cross-country runner with a bright future. Congratulations, Tanner. Form 1, Mario Kamara Paslar. Fun-loving and respectful at the same time. Great leader by example in the classroom and on the sports field, soccer, basketball A team this year. Gives his absolute best effort to everything he does. Congratulations, Mario. Form 2, Connor Lowe. Connor has a way of making everyone around him feel included and valued. Talented and successful, but humble about it. Makes a point to thank his teachers and fellow students regularly, and very easy to talk to. Congratulations, Connor. And into the high school, Form 3, Marcus Washington. Marcus is a very kind student who cares a great deal for his classmates. Marcus is quiet at times, still waters run deep, and thinks considerably about what he is learning in class, and is a positive influence in every class he is a part of. Congratulations, Marcus. Form 4, Funa Okoye. Funa is unfailingly kind to classmates and teachers alike. Hardworking and conscientious, he goes the extra mile in reaching out to peers simply to check in with them or because they may be struggling. Congratulations, Funa. And Form 5, to Omar Hassan. Consider it as the day is long. Omar is blessed with a great sense of humor and is an insightful and original thinker. The consummate town builder, Omar is known as a loyal and trusting friend and for his outreach to others. Congratulations, Omar. I'm delighted to announce that for the Form 6 Headmasters Award, we had 2 recipients, each of whom has been exceptional in the school community, largely in very visible ways, but even more so oftentimes in behind-the-scenes ways. These guys are town builders, they're glue guys, they make things happen, and they always do so in a quiet, earnest, thoughtful way. Christian Gonzalez and Ian Ogilvy. About both, I think there's so much more that they have in common, and some of those common threads, as I've already mentioned, incredibly involved in the life of the school. Never worried about who gets credit for what. In fact, President Truman said, it's amazing what can happen when people aren't concerned about who gets credit. These 2 young men are quintessential, that type person. Whether it's in publications or supporting the student council, whether it's in classroom settings or athletic endeavors, both men put their hearts fully to everything they do, thoughtfully and kindly. Both are very polite and quintessentially humble. And it gives me great delight to recognize both those young men, Christian and Ian, as this year's Headmasters Award winners. Congratulations, gentlemen.
The President's Award, the St. Benedict Ora et Labora plaque. This award is given to recognize a student who has truly lived up to his monastic dictum, Ora et Labora, by being a contemporary example of St. Benedict's way of life. The recipient of this reward, renouncing easier, self-serving path, he chose instead love for God and service to others. He never had a harsh word for anyone, and is unfailingly polite, humble, and supportive of everyone around him. He is willing to take on extra things to help people out, like serving others on donut mornings. We came to rely on him to be a positive influence. He achieved the rank to Eagle Scout and exemplifies the Benedictine spirit as someone who always works no matter what and really helps others. The school community is deeply indebted to James Mercier for his true dedication to what St. Benedict represents and for the work and enthusiasm James has given back not only to this monastic school, but to his parish and to his scout troop. And of course, he gave vibrant color in his dress, even to one who is colorblind. James richly deserves recognition for his Benedictine peace, stability, humility, obedience, and service.
Hi, everybody. I have the great privilege and pleasure and honor to present the following 2 awards. Each of these speakers in a traditional year would be speaking at commencement. This year, we will be having a virtual commencement on May 30th, as scheduled. But we've asked these young men to speak at the event that we'll be hosting when we have the opportunity to bring together community at a safer time, either later in the year or into the next calendar year, when these young men are home from school, because we think, among other things, that'll provide them the opportunity not only to reflect on their high school years, but collectively in conversations with their classmates to talk about the time since graduation. These 2 awards are as follows, and I'm going to read them, and then I have a little bit of commentary on both young men. They're just exemplary young men. St. Anselm of Canterbury Award. In commendation of his example of Christian concern, the pursuit of academic excellence, commitment to the service of the school, and support of its activities, the headmaster and faculty of St. Anselm's Abbey School are pleased to designate Joseph Paci as the 2020 recipient of the St. Anselm's Award for outstanding service to the school community. I'd just like to say a minute or so's worth of reflections on Joseph. First of all, I was able to teach Joseph for 1 week in his 7th grade year, his first week at the school. And Joseph, about a weekend, came up and almost sheepishly, the typical Paci, said, Mr. Krittenberger, I've looked through the book and I think I've had all this stuff before, and this is pre-algebra. And I said, well, we have a protocol, and the protocol is very demanding that you have to take the pre-algebra exam and pass it with a 90% or better. So he said, no problem. And it was a Friday, and he said, I can get it done on Monday. So I presume he looked over some of the material at home. It's a 12-chapter book, and it's a lot of material. And Joseph came in, and no surprise to anyone who knows him now, nailed it. I think he got a 98 or a 99. Anyway, it was farewell to me because I was sad to see him go, and he jumped into Algebra 1. That kind of bespeaks Joseph in terms of his modesty and his humility, but also the capacity to size things up and say, hey, let's keep things moving forward. Joseph was a remarkable school president this year. In fact, in my 8 years, he's the finest school president we've had. I'd say hands down and indisputably. We've had other very fine school presidents, but Joseph was the quintessential servant leader. I remember a year ago when he was campaigning and the various tickets were giving their speeches, Joseph, I felt truly, metaphorically at least, and the way he was pacing the stage, he reminded me of a caged panther. And I guess caged panther, the panther works in this community, of course, but he was so excited on that stage to share with the audience what his plans and hopes were. And I have to say, Joseph knocked it out of the park this year as the president. He was remarkable. And what was quintessential in his being and his delivery was all he cared about all year long was serving others. And by the way, at the same time, he's a brilliant student. He's an accomplished participant in school activities. But in the end, he really, really served beautifully and well in a way that I think was milestone, at least for the time that I've been here. So thank you, Joseph, and congratulations. The second recipient, the recipient of the second award, the Austin Scholar, in recognition of superior academic achievement in the course of studies prescribed by this school during his years as a student here, the headmaster and faculty of St. Anselm's Abbey School are pleased to designate Will Monahan as the Austin Scholar for the graduating class of 2020. Well, this gives me great pleasure as well. I did have the good fortune to teach Will for the entirety of 7th grade. I think he probably could have done what Pachi did almost in his sleep, but he was in my pre-algebra class, and I remember distinctly what an incredible presence he was, and always so understated and soft-spoken and humble. I do know that sometimes he would, as I was walking around to see if the boys had done their work, he would lean and said, hey, Mr. Krittenberger, that starred problem, the very last one, do you mind if we go over that? Because he was always interested in knowing the hardest level problems and what the solutions were. It wasn't unusual either that he'd put up a solution on the front board that was supremely correct, A, and then secondarily, oftentimes very creative. If you fast forward, Will Monahan is a remarkable student, even in comparison with this school's historical high water benchmarks. Just alone of late, he's in the midst of potentially, depending on his AP results, he could set the all-time record for AP scores at the highest level and the number of tests taken. Good luck to you on that, Will. And then secondarily, he's also submitted a brilliant poem for the Berry Prize. It's called Frostbite, and it reminds one of what would probably a comparison to a young Robert Frost. So I'll say about Will, I mean, how many things did he do well? And as Stuart Scott used to say of ESPN, he's cooler than the far side of the pillow. And he, like all people who are truly cool, he doesn't try to be cool, he just is cool. He's easygoing, he's thoughtful, he's kind, he's very humble, he's very engaging, just impossible not to like him. And he really set the bar high in a modest, humble, thoughtful, reserved way all the time. High energy, and I can't wait till he turns 35 because I'm certainly going to be looking for him on the presidential ballot. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Will.
Hey guys, I just wanted to give one final farewell from this year's student government. I hope we did a good job, I hope we served you well, and I hope you guys had a great year. I am super optimistic about Luca and Hayden and all the juniors and sophomores in next year's Student Gov. Already, they've been doing a great job putting together today's online field day, and I think great things are to come.
What's up, y'all? By the time you're watching this, it's field day, and
I'm sorry that we have to deal with the circumstances we have right now, but I can assure you the Inter-House Council did everything we could to make this day as enjoyable as possible. So hopefully you guys have a lot of fun, and hopefully Albin wins the House Cup, obviously. On behalf of me and Hayden, I just want to thank all of you again. We're extremely excited to be president and vice president this year, and we have a lot of good ideas that we are ready to implement. That's about it. Just want to make sure everyone's staying safe during this time. Also, finals are coming up. I know it's easy to kind of let it go and not study, but I promise you, you don't want to slack all these last days. All right, we're almost there. So stay strong, stay safe, and go all in house. All right, thank you.
We conclude our assembly virtually today with the petitions and the Lord's Prayer. The response to our petitions is, Lord, hear our prayer. We thank you for the blessings of this school year and for all that we have learned and accomplished. Lord, hear our prayer. We thank you for the abilities and talents which we have, and for the achievements which we have celebrated today. Lord, hear our prayer. We thank you for our parents, teachers, and friends, and for all who have made our education possible. Lord, hear our prayer. We thank you for life and faith, for our freedoms, and for the material blessings you give us. Lord, hear our prayer. And we ask your blessing and the gift of your Holy Spirit upon the graduating seniors of the year 2020. Lord, hear our prayer. And we pray for all those who are part of the St. Anselm's family to be preserved from the effects of the virus, and that very soon regular life can begin again for everyone. Lord, hear our prayer. We close with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And may the blessing of Almighty God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit come down upon you and remain with you forever. Amen.